Hi, I'm Carrie. I decided to do something a little different for this video. Instead of baking a dessert, I am going to make dinner. My cousin a couple weeks ago was texting and saying she made Cornish Game Hens one night, and she sent a picture and they just look so delicious. I thought, I haven't had those in a long time. I'm going to make them tonight. I took parts of her recipe and did some extra things to it to come up with what I'm going to do tonight. So we will get started here shortly. So you're going to preheat the oven to 450 degrees and then rinse the hen. Make sure he's rinsed inside and out. And then you're going to pat dry. So just make sure he's dry. Or she, I don't know what it is. What is a hen? A she? Okay, so just make sure we get it dry. I already did one before, so it's in the pan right beside me. So just pat it dry and then place it in your pan. Okay, so I have a couple little pats of butter here, and what I'm doing right now is just separating the skin at the breast. Just putting my finger in here to separate it, because then I'm going to put these little pats of butter underneath the skin to just give it a little bit more moisture. So, and then I will probably also put a clove of garlic. I have some garlic that's ready. And so I'm going to put a clove of garlic under each part of the skin. Okay. Put a clove of garlic in here. So what I'm going to do is take some olive oil and drizzle it over and then rub it in. So that way we get some olive oil to help with the browning and to keep it moist. So we'll do that. So I have a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper, so we're going to sprinkle this on and kind of rub it in to the hens so you can get some flavor in here. Just sprinkle. You can turn them over and do it on the other side as well, and then we'll just rub it in. Both sides. So, and just rub it in to get them nice and seasoned. And flip them back over. I'm also going to sprinkle with some basil and then oregano. So just a little bit, doesn't have to be a lot. Sprinkle it on. And same thing with the oregano. Okay. Next, we're going to take some lemon wedges. I just have 4 right here, so we're going to put 2 in each cavity. Also some garlic cloves. I just have about 4 probably a piece, so just put those in the cavity as well. And then I also have 2 sprigs of rosemary, and 1 in each. Put it in there. And this is what they'll look like before they go into the oven. The hens are in the oven. We'll keep them there for about 25 minutes, And then we're going to make a wine broth sauce for them, but we're going to use it first to baste them. And then once they're done roasting, we will use it to make a sauce to pour over them before we serve. So now for the sauce, we're going to take a 1/4 cup of chicken broth and a 1/4 cup of dry white wine. I'm using Chardonnay, but any dry white wine will do. And a tablespoon of olive oil. And then we're just going to whisk. And right now the 25 minutes have passed. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn down the oven to 350 degrees now. Pour this over the hens and then bake for an additional 25 minutes. But then every 10 minutes, we're going to baste the hens with the juices in the pan. So I'm taking them out to baste after 10 minutes. And then also, I'm going to put a thermometer in the thigh because once it reaches 165 degrees, then they will be ready. So I'm doing that right now. Turn it on. Put it down to 165. If you don't have one of these, I highly recommend it because it tells you, gives you a little alarm sound once it reaches the temperature that you have it set for. I'm putting it at 165, and then I'll just leave it on the counter, and it will notify me once it reaches 165. So, putting it back in the oven, and I'll still continue to baste every 10 minutes until it's ready. So the hens are out of the oven. Now I took all the juices from the pan and I've put it here into a saucepan, and I'm just going to put the heat on it and cook it for about 6 minutes to kind of reduce it a little bit, and then we'll serve. So the sauce is boiling, but since my husband prefers his sauce to be a little bit more on the thicker side, I'm going to do just about a teaspoon of cornstarch, and then I'll put in a tiny bit of chicken broth, and then add it and then whisk. Chicken broth in there. Stir it up a little bit. And as it's boiling, I'll put it in and then whisk. Just to thicken it up a little bit. So now I'm going to spoon the sauce over the hen. My husband is preparing some asparagus to go on the side. So here is our prepared dish. This is my husband, Alan. And he's going to be the first one to taste it to see how it came out.
Looks delicious.
Oh, it's juicy.
Very juicy. Wow. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. Yummy. Yummy.
This is the first time I prepared Cornish Game Hens for you.
Very good. Very good for the first try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the meal, and I will be posting this fairly shortly and with the recipe included.